Today I'm going to be doing a showcase of the Vanity CS2 cheat. Yesterday I did a install guide, basically showing you guys how to purchase and install it. And today I'm just going to be going over the menu and showing it off in game to show you guys what you guys can get. With that being said, this video is sponsored by RecoveryKings.net. So if you guys do want to purchase Vanity, the link will be down below. You guys can basically choose between a month or a 3-month key. And then all you guys have to do is add this to your cart. And you guys can use my discount code to bring your total down 5%. Without further ado, let's get into the showcase. Alrighty guys, we did load up into CS2. As you guys can see here, this is Vanity. Starting off with your legit bot, it's basically like your aimbot and trigger bot section. They basically put those two together into one category. So starting off, aimbot is basically configured per weapon mostly. So general tab is basically going to enable aimbot, trigger bot, humanization, and your aim curve for every single weapon. If you guys want to do that, I highly suggest customizing each weapon. So for example, the rifle category would have different aimbot compared to the op. That's basically going to be your best option, to be honest. So if you guys want to do general tab, you guys can go ahead and do so. For the sake of this video, I'm going to go to each category individually. So for example, your rifle tab here, aimbot is automatically on. I do not have an activation key because it's on by default. And then it's also going to scale the FOV by the distance of how far away I am from the actual target. You guys can change your smoothing amount as well as the FOV, as well as your actual target hitboxes here. For example, I have head, chest, and stomach enabled. Safety flags here. For example, you know, your flash, jump, scope, smoke, and can shoot safety flags there. So basically, say there's a smoke on the ground, you're not going to shoot through it, obviously. And then you do have a trigger bot as well. As you guys can see, my delay is 165. My hit chance is set to 0. Then you guys can set your target hitbox here. I have it set to everything. Safety flags as well. So for example, I hold mouse 4 and then I'm going to look onto them and it's going to shoot, as you guys can see right there. And that is basically how that works, as you guys can see. You guys can customize it as much as you guys would prefer. You guys can also enable humanization here. You can turn down sticky on as well as the mode. You can set your target switch as well as your aim speed, enable over aim as well. And then you guys do have your aim curve here. Vanity basically did a video showcasing how this actually works. So basically, I'm just going to show you guys real quick how it works. You guys can go into more detail with it, but basically I'm going to aim onto them. As you guys can see, it dips down a little bit. It works better if they're farther away. As you guys can see, it does like a little curve when I look at them, and it brings your mouse back up, which is pretty cool. It honestly depends on how you configure it, but it's going to do a little bit of a lock on. But that's basically how that works. So if I were to like change this, it would basically have a bigger dip, as you guys can see there. If I do like, you know, a lot, I wouldn't do that much, to be honest. But I'm going to go back up here to where it kind of was, like right about there. But basically, you guys can do this for every single weapon. I'm not going to go into each weapon because, you know, you basically get the gist. It's the same thing for every single weapon. RageBot is not configured yet. It's under development, as you guys can see there. Same with your anti-aim. Visuals here, it's basically where you guys can configure ESP, which is basically like your wall hacks. You guys can turn those on or off. As you guys can see, it's like a little health bar there. So if I shoot them, it's going to go down. You guys can turn that off if you don't want that. If you guys want to stay a little bit more legit and you guys just want chams on. So for example, when I see them, they're going to glow red. And when I can't, you can't see them at all. I mean, if you're playing like on your main account, that's what I would use. Probably just chams. Because it, you know, it basically just glows so you can see them easier. Anyway, you can enable through walls as well. If you guys want to have chams through walls, for example, if I can see them through a wall, they're going to be like a little bit blackish. You guys can change the color of that as well. You guys can actually change the color of the regular chams as well if you guys want to go ahead and make it like a blue, for example. I don't know why, but I like to use blue a lot for some reason. Oh, that's through walls. I don't want that on. I'm going to turn it for that. And as you guys can see, there's like a little bluish color to them. You guys can go a little bit darker if you want. Honestly, this is all preference to whatever you guys prefer. Moving over to your visual tab here, this is basically where you guys can enable or disable your ESP, for example, through walls. This is where you guys can enable boxes as well, as you guys can see, their weapon names, icons, whatever it may be. You guys can also do sound ESP as well. I'm going to turn ESP off because I don't really fuck with it, to be honest. I mostly use chams. As you guys can see, it's basically what makes them glow in the background. As you guys can see them glowing, that's basically how that works. So you can turn that on or off. You guys can also enable through walls as well if you guys want to change the color. So for example, if I can see them through the wall, if I want to make it like a black, you guys can see. That's basically how it's going to look. Visible material here, you guys can basically change it from like flat, gradient, to animated. I like the animated one. I think that looks the best. Same with your occluded material as well. Visible overlay, you guys can have a little bit of a glow effect if you guys would like to do so. Same with your occluded overlay. You guys can actually change the color of that as well, as you guys can see. I honestly really like how I set the colors up. This actual config is not mine. I mean, I had to get this video out pretty quick, so I just downloaded one from the forum. To be honest, I just changed a few things, like, you know, my ESP or chams, whatever you want to call it. You guys can also enable a radar up here, which will basically show you guys where enemies are. You guys can also enable that for teams as well as the bomb once it's planted, if you guys would like to do so. World options is under development in view. Here you can do hand chams as well. For example, your hands, you guys can change this color as well. So for example, if I go here and I want to copy this color, we'll go back over to view. We'll go here and we'll paste that in. As you guys can see, I now have that. You guys can do weapon chams as well if I want to change that color to the same color. As you guys can see, looks a little bit different on the gun. Honestly, I don't like it on the gun at all, but I mean, for the hands, it's actually kind of cool. I mean, you guys can put that on if you would like it on. I mean, it's personal preference. Anyway, moving over here, you got your Misc options, which is also under development. Profile as well as your skins. But basically, this is where you guys can add skins to your game. You guys can basically select any skin which you guys prefer in the game. All you guys have to do is hit add here. You guys basically select your weapon of choice, knife of choice, or your agent skin of choice, and you guys can add it. For example, you guys want to do an AK skin. Scroll down here, you guys want to do, I don't know, let's say your fire serpent, hit this. You guys can change your skin pattern, wear, as well as enable stat track, auto equip as well. I'm gonna turn that off because I already have a skin. You guys can also put a name tag, and you guys can add different stickers here, such as a banana here. Add this. As you guys can see, I go over here to inventory. Well, it looks like my Steam, it does not want to work right now, but basically, if you go to your inventory up here, it will show. Honestly, I don't know, I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, so Steam is probably updating. That's probably why. But anyway, like I said, you guys can basically add whatever you guys want. Lua here as well is also under development and configs. This is basically where you guys can load configs, import, create, whatever you guys want to do, you can do. If you guys are wondering, I am using this config here, red closet. And I basically just changed how the chams look. It's basically made by this guy, if you guys are curious. Skins here as well, if you guys have any skin configs, as well as your theme configs. For example, if I want to change it to maybe like this blue, I hit load. Just give it 1 second, and as you guys can see, this is like a blue version of the menu. You guys can also browse here. You guys can search for configs, and then you guys have your categories here. So for example, your settings or your skins, which is basically your weapon skins, or your themes for the menu, for example, a purple and white theme. But that basically should be it for that. Anyway, lastly, settings here, you guys can basically change how your actual menu looks. As you guys can see here, you guys can do a bunch of different things in here. And then basically going up here to home, it's basically going to show your change log as well as your user information. And that is basically going to be it for the overview of the menu. With that being said, I'm going to get into some gameplay now to show you guys how Vanity actually works in game. So let me load up into a deathmatch real quick. Alrighty guys, we are now loaded into a deathmatch, and as you guys can see, we do have Vanity loaded. Today's video is more of a showcase showing you guys what you get when you guys do purchase Vanity. In the next upcoming days, I will actually showcase more of the cheat itself, or the gameplay per se. These visuals are actually really good. Honestly, they're on par with Predator. I think Predator has really good visuals. I am in a death match here, so it's not going to be like an average match where you guys are like, you know, in competitive 5v5. It'll be a lot easier to get kills. I mean, I'm in a death match, so everybody fucking walks behind me. I actually am in a rush to get this video pushed out for you guys because I just did that install guide. So I want you guys to be able to see what Vanity actually offers rather than just showing you guys how to actually install it. I mean, the install is actually really easy, but you know, for some individuals, they do need some assistance with learning how to do that, which is just how it is, I guess. I am trying to get these showcases and setup guides over with so I can get into more of the content aspect of what these cheats offer. But my sponsor, Recovery Kings, has been adding a lot of new products to his website, so I'm trying to get you know, those setup guides pushed out for the new users who want to cheat in this game. But in the next coming weeks or so, I should get some more gameplay stuff out. I might do some invite only stuff as well, like fatality videos, such as, you know, maybe even a montage. I know a lot of people have been asking for that kind of content, so I might push some of that out. I'm not really sure yet. I've just been so busy. I think I'm gonna have some more time on my hands in the next week or so, so I should be able to do that, which is pretty cool for you guys. I don't think I'm getting on the top of the leaderboard by the end of this video. As you guys can see, 15 seconds, and the other guy is walling as well, which is that's pretty nice. it is going to be it for this showcase. If you guys want to see any other content, let me know down below. If you guys want to see any cheats sold, let me know as well. But for the sake of this video, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.